बठिंडा हो या बीजिंग, एक ही किंग, रणवीर सिंह।
टैगलाइन कहाँ से बनी?
The line came in the film that Rohit Shetty made. On a launch press conference, Ranveer says, हमारी चटनी खाई है कभी? जब खाओगे तो मजा आएगा, अगले दिन और मजा आएगा। इंडिया से चटनी ईटिंग कर, डीएनए हम चटोरे हैं। शेजवान अगर चटनी बन जाएगी ना तो हम खाएंगे। शेजवान सॉस पता नहीं हम कितनी खाएंगे। So शेजवान चटनी, you know, lot of people think ये 2 साल में बन गया है, तो उसको भी 12-13 साल लगे। ये पुड़िया 10 रुपए की पुड़िया से वो बचे हुए चावल को तड़का लगाएगा और फ्राइड राइस बन जाएगा।
फूड इज़ अ वेरी सेक्सी बिजनेस, इट्स वेरी अपीलिंग टू कंज्यूमर्स। तो आपको लग रहा है कि लॉट ऑफ फाउंडर्स आर आल्सो गेटिंग इनटू, उसके कारण भी आ रहे हैं?
फूड इज द टफेस्ट बिजनेस। फूड इज अ हैबिट चेंज एंड हैबिट्स डोंट चेंज ओवरनाइट। 2.5 करोड़ का टर्नओवर, 1 करोड़ का लॉस। सो उस जमाने के हिसाब से यू आर BIFR का। So 2004 became a game changer to us.
कि थोड़ा कैश फ्लो वगैरह आने लग गया।
कैश फ्लो आ गया।
But 2006 किशोर जी what 40% stake?
Yeah.
और ये कंज्यूमर इनसाइट्स कैसे ले रहे हो आप?
Till 2023 15 दिन रोड पे होते थे। धूप है, बारिश है,
आप खुद कर रहे हो?
सुनिए नहीं, मरे बिना जन्नत नहीं मिलती, तो नहीं मिलती है जन्नत। January 2024 I handed over the business to the TATAs.
सर जी, बठिंडा हो या बीजिंग, देसी चाइनीज का एक ही है किंग, चिंग्स। सर जी, मैनू साहब, फर्स्टली थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग ऑन दिस पॉडकास्ट। एंड आपको लोग सर यू नो दे कॉल यू दी एड किंग, एड मैन, है ना, एड मैन, स्टोरी टेलर से इतना बड़ा ब्रांड बना गया चिंग सीक्रेट। तो पहले तो सर मुझे ये वील स्टार्ट विद दिस टैगलाइन। हमने ऑफकोर्स आपकी ब्रांडिंग एंड मार्केटिंग जीनियस के बारे में बात करनी है, बट ये जो टैगलाइन कहाँ से बनी सर? ये बठिंडा हो या बीजिंग, देसी चाइनीज का एक ही किंग, ये कहाँ से बनी टैगलाइन?
The tagline actually, the line came in the film that Rohit Shetty made, which was Bhatinda ho ya Beijing, एक ही king, Ranveer Singh. So that's how the line. This is one of the lines in the film itself. And I don't know if you've seen the film. I would like everybody who's watching this to go and see that film. It's a 7.5 minute film. It's a full-fledged film with heroine who's distressed, hero ki entry, villain, fight, all that is there, which is in a typical Bollywood film in 7.5 minutes. A very interesting story in that, Simar, is that while this film was being shot, and Rohit, Ranveer and me, we were all sitting and said, yaar, everything is there. So suddenly said, yaar, maa nahi hai isme. So Ranveer said, chalo maa bhi aa jati hai. So if you see the film, in the end, there is Ma Ching also comes in, and Ranveer became the mother itself. So that's some iconic work that we ended up doing as a team together.
सर, मेरे ये जो मार्केटिंग और ये जो ब्रांड बिल्डिंग जो 2014 में आपने स्टार्ट की, इसके बारे में तो ये आज पॉडकास्ट में विल स्पीक, इसका सेशन मैंने रखा हुआ है कि मास्टर क्लास है, बिकॉज बहुत से यंगस्टर्स हमारा पॉडकास्ट देखते हैं, बहुत से अपकमिंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हमारा पॉडकास्ट देखते हैं, तो 20-25 मिनट तो मैं डेडिकेटेड एक स्लॉट रखा हूँ, उसके लिए बात करेंगे। बट सर, पहले मैंने बात करनी है सर, 1995 कैपिटल फूड स्टार्ट होता है। ये कहाँ से आइडिया आया सर? मतलब यू डोंट कम फ्रॉम अ बिजनेस बैकग्राउंड एट ऑल, दिस इज लिबरलाइजेशन अभी हुई है, 4 साल हुए हैं, एंड ये देसी चाइनीज़ वर्ड एग्जिस्ट करता नहीं इंडिया में। 1995 का मुझे अजय बताओ, क्या कर रहा है बॉम्बे में, क्या कर रहा है, और कहाँ से ये कैपिटल फूड्स आइडिया आया?
So Simar, actually, so I come from advertising and marketing. So there are 2 clients that I was working for. So one is Kohinoor Basmati rice, and the other was a company called ADF, now called ADF Limited. Both are selling Indian food in the West. So if you have to sell Indian food in the West, you need to learn what is staple food and ethnic foods, how a foreign food comes into a country, and how they imbibe it over the next decades and such. To learn that, I had to understand that to help these 2 clients, I had to learn how it happens. So if you see UK, their national dish is chicken tikka masala. how did Indian food evolve in the UK? Today, the only thing they left with them is fish and chips. Uske upar bhi curry sauce maar dete hain. That's how integrated Indian food is there. Yeah. Look at the US East Coast. It is Italian, and Godfather sabne dekhi hai. Yeah, how the pizza came to the East Coast. Similarly, in the West Coast, you had the Japanese and Chinese food came in. How these foods integrate, and that was the learning that I needed to get if I had to help these brands. And it so happened in 95, sitting in London, I said, yeah, actually, I was getting a little tired of advertising at that point. Yeah. And this idea came out saying, yeah, India is evolving. This is the period when there was these buzzword, 250 million strong middle class. This was just beginning in 95. Yeah. And I said, yeah, if this change is happening in India, our food will also change. So if you see Maslow's theory, it says as communities start evolving economically, they move from staple food. Staple is dal, roti, chawal to something foreign, which can be within India, you can have foreign and overall foreign. See, and what will that cuisine that we will imbibe? The answer stupidly and simple, logically said was Chinese. So from
ये
London,
आपने सोचा?
हाँ, उधर आइडिया आ गया उधर.
Chinese.
Yeah. I picked up the phone and I called my office, which is still an ad agency. I called the office and said, can we do a quick research and understand the background to what I thought? By the time I came back, there was a whole paper build, which is the history of how the Chinese, the Hakka community came to India in early of last century, and how we had literally every large city of this country had a Chinatown.
This कब था ये 90
The China
100 साल पहले almost
75 odd years back, and how the Chinese, when they come with some ingredients they bring, but over a period of time the ingredients get over. The cooking style is there, but they take ingredients that are Indian. And from there, a cuisine called Desi Chinese evolved. And so to us, it was that, hey, this integration of the Chinese, the Hakka community coming to India, and what has happened in the UK and the US is a similar story, which means Chinese will become popular. Our style of Chinese will become popular in India. Also, you were seeing fresh shoots happening in the country where Chinese in many cities, Delhi, Bombay, Desi Chinese had come on the streets already, which is also one tick in the box of how cuisine will become popular. It's being eaten by the common man. So that's really where the idea happened from, saying, let me take a bet on this. This is going to be the next large play in processed food in the country. And really that's how it began.
इतना आसान नहीं होगा ना. 95 में you have Nestle का Maggi, which is आज भी sir, today also, the kind of integration that it has in the normal household. Maggi, you have Unilevers, you have large FMCG companies, right? So मतलब ऐसा तो नहीं है कि बहुत ही आसान था. मतलब 95 when you started, so आपको ये नहीं था सर आपके मन में कि यार इतने लार्ज ब्रांड्स हैं, हाउ डू वी क्रिएट अ पॉइंट ऑफ डिफरेंस और हाउ डू वी बीट देम ऑन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन?
सो सिमर, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन वाला तो कम्स लेटर. ओके, दैट्स अ स्टोरी ऑफ how a screw up can happen, but we did research on this. So very importantly, India is a food culture country. हमारे बच्चा पैदा होता है till death, food is integrated to within our culture. So our research also said that worldwide, these large companies, these multinational companies, they're brilliant in what they do, but they don't build ethnic cuisines in the world. They buy them. So for me, it was this: they can't do what we will do. We are close to our culture. What they do is very good, but they do mass production, mass stuff. 1982, Maggi was launched. Maggi was not a Chinese; it was a snack that came in. It's still not called noodles from a Chinese perspective. It's a snack. So for us, it's very clear that we understand food culture. So as much as these big boys are there, they will not do what we are going to do. They will not compete with us till we become large. So I have a runway of 20-25 years in front of me without they heckling us. So that was clear to us, and that is why we said. And I come from advertising and marketing, so it was an idea based thing more than a manufacturing and a distribution play at that time. 95. We started in 96, and to your question of distribution, यार समझ नहीं आती थी तभी तो ये distribution वाला play. And you know how advertising people think they build brands, they build businesses. The reality is not true, which took 3 years for me to understand for myself. By third year we were bankrupt because you realize, yeah, distribution is the play in this. While you have a great idea, you have a great product, but if you can't reach the consumer, it's useless.
So 95, 96 you started. 99 you're saying you're bankrupt. तो पहले products कौन से थे जो आपने start किए?
So very basic products we had initially, which was soy sauce.
So soy sauce was first product?
Yeah, soy sauce. So we launched 2 brands together. One was CHING'S, another was Smith & Jones. Soy sauce, green chili, red chili, and Hakka Noodles. These are 4 products. And there was another unique product that came actually from marketing, was chili vinegar. Doesn't exist anywhere in the world. Didn't exist in India. So, but you know how we Indians eat our Chinese? वो vinegar के अंदर मिर्ची काट के डालते हैं. So to me it was an advertising idea saying, यार एक spicy vinegar बना देते हैं. So you had one vinegar bottle and I put a chili in it. It became a dipping sauce really than a vinegar. So these are the 5 basic products that we began.
And नाम जो so Hakka Noodles was CHING'S के अंदर था and Smith & Jones was all these
ginger
sauces.
garlic. No, Smith & Jones was ginger garlic paste.
अच्छा, Smith & Jones was ginger
garlic paste, and the rest were all under CHING'S.
CHING'S
which was Chinese.
Chinese के Hakka Noodles, soy sauce.
Hakka Noodles, soy sauce, green chili, red chili.
And नाम कैसे है CHING'S secret?
So so if you go into the history of China, the last emperor of China was the Qing dynasty really. Under the Qing dynasty, there was a huge refinement of cuisines of China that happened. So I said food, CHING'S. So that's how the CHING'S, secret of CHING'S happened. We started again, you know, brands evolve like human beings evolved. Yeah, it started being authentic Chinese. So we said authentic Chinese. So CHING'S actually started being authentic Chinese, and a journey brought it to Desi Chinese.
96, 99 you're saying bankrupt.
2003 tak it was terrible times. Terrible times, but again, you know, now this is an era, there is no P fund and series A, B, all that we hear today, this is all not there. Yeah. So what money you have is what you work with. Banks also don't give you money. So this is what you had. Though, yeah, SBI did help us wherever we needed help. But in the first 3-4 years, any business you need to keep.
तो कैसे माल बेच रहे थे सर? 96 से 2003 before you know Kishore Biani came. उससे पहले क्या था? मतलब when you say it was worse, so how bad it was?
So you know I had built this business on 2 premises at that. I started the business on 2 premises. One was changing lifestyle and hence changing food eating habits will happen, and the other was self-service stores will happen in India. The department stores had come to India. The Shoppers Stop, Lifestyle ये हो गए थे, but supermarkets नहीं हुए थे अभी तक. And to me it was, yeah, supermarkets 96 तक आ जाएंगे. Sadly supermarkets didn't come. These kind of products you need supermarkets where a woman walks into a supermarket and buys what she wants to buy rather than the kirane wala saying ye le jao. Yeah. The supermarkets didn't come. So for us that journey was a little difficult. While we were confident that the housewife wants us, but how will the housewife experience the product? So the first 4 years was going to some shops with a cylinder and a stove and cooking in front of the store between 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock, helping consumers discover how Chinese can be cooked at home with the ingredients we had. The consumers loved it. They bought. The retailers said, "Hey, yaar, ये तो बिक जाएगा." Okay. And the product we would leave some product in the store, and this was a very slow process. Yeah, we did whatever distribution we were doing, but we were losing money, losing money, which was also planned in a way, but how much to lose we didn't know. Yeah. And so till 2003 things were bad. I mean, bad is an understanding the bad, which is where I, in a way, to sustain my business, I said, yeah, I don't know when these supermarkets will happen. In my previous advertising era, I had worked with a company called Natco Foods in the UK. I had worked with Patel Brothers, large retailers in the US. And I said, hey, can I see an opportunity on selling to them or selling to the Gora market with what is in India? And 2004, so exports became a strategy of survival for me till things pan out in India. Again, problem हो जाती है, थोड़े पढ़े लिखे होते हैं ना, तो यार I will not do chili powder and turmeric and papad and pickle. I want to do something that is unique. The first company in India that time to say we will create shelf-ready products to go on supermarkets out of India. Now the challenge that happens is one, technology, and the other is food safety. The world looked at India. Things have dramatically changed over the last 20 years. India say food safety is a big question mark. In 2004, we ended up setting up India's then largest ready meals plant in Kandla Special Economic Zone, which was the first BRC level A certified factory. BRC is British Retail Consortium certification on food safety. And that became literally a game changer in our life. To set that factory up, we needed to get technology. And that's very early I discovered saying, yeah, knowledge is not about money. Knowledge is about knowledge. It's about seeking knowledge. And that, I think, has been a very critical aspect of the evolvement and growth of Capital Foods. We ended up at that point, we ended up setting up a factory which was unheard of in the India of that time. We did 90-second rice in a microwavable pouch. India was in a aluminum foil, hot water mein dalo. We were talking of technology where nip the pouch, put in the microwave, and your food is ready in 2 minutes. Yeah. Those are the kind of things we started doing. We bought quick freeze, first time in ready to eat then in India, where we started freezing the samosa and the dokla and all these kind of stuff in our factory in Kandla.
Well, अभी तो frozen foods आया भी नहीं. The concept of frozen foods and
उधर भी बहुत कम था उस वक्त. Yeah. But there was a man called Sir Ghulam Noon in the UK who had bought Indian food in mainstream stores as frozen and chilled. So those were things that had begun to happen in the West at that time, and we were looking really at the exports only. And saying, yeah, India, I don't know when India will take off. So I have to survive the company.
तो noodles वगैरह ही बेच रहे थे ना, मतलब ये जो Hakka, जो भी Ching's के products.
Exports में नहीं. Exports we became an Indian food company. In exports we became, you can't sell Desi Chinese to the world. So at that time we were selling, we ended up doing exports out of their food. So we were working with Tesco in the UK. We were doing microwavable rice for them. Egg fried rice.
Trading ही होगी ना एक तरीके से, kind of.
नहीं sir, manufacturing कर रहे थे technology based. Technology. So 90-second microwavable rice at that time was a completely new game changer to the West. For us, all our wives and our wife and a sister and a mother know how to boil rice. The West housewives didn't know how to boil rice. So they were buying cooked rice. Now cooked rice in terms of, and this technology bought cooked rice for the first time. But the technology was relatively very new in the world. We were one of the few guys in the world at that time who could produce it in India, and we had an edge. The best rice, basmati, was available to us, and we were adding water, cooking it and packing it and selling it.
So मतलब kind of necessity हो, मतलब एक तरीके से survival हो गया ना.
मेरे लिए survival था वो.
96 हमने वो जो Ching's and Smith and Jones launch किया, sauces and Hakka Noodles, जाके आप stores पे उसको live demo दे रहे हो, but it is very slow the progress. And 2004 you said भाई धंधा तो करना ही है, तो ये आपने export start कर दिया.
पगार भी देनी थी.
right? But 2004 before the export happened, just want to understand क्या economics थी, क्या, how was the top line at that time?
till the exports.
एक्सपोर्ट को छोड़ के मतलब
नहीं, एक्सपोर्ट 2004 में शुरू हुआ. उससे पहले 2.5 करोड़ रुपए का टर्नओवर होता था. 2.5 करोड़ का टर्नओवर, 1 करोड़ का लॉस. मतलब टोटल ना, आई एम नॉट सेइंग एवरी ईयर. 2.5 करोड़ का टर्नओवर, 1 करोड़ का लॉस. सो उस जमाने के हिसाब से यू आर अ BIFR कंपनी. But that is the situation. So how did I build? I went and did consultancies to make money.
Sustain karte rahe,
to make money and put in the company. So those are kind of, these are difficult stories that are there. Yeah.
But then enters Kishore Biyani in the story.
So that happened much later. So 2004 became a game changer to us.
कि थोड़ा cash flow वगैरह आने लग गया.
Cash flow आ गया. पहले साल में 2004 पहले साल में 18 करोड़ का turnover हो गया. Because technology recipes were ours, which was still a gross. It was a third party manufacturing, but large gross margins. Because technology was ours. So that's how 2004, by 2004, 2003, 4 was the last year we were in red. Post 2004, Capital Foods had never been in the red. Our balance sheets had never been in the red. Things changed from 2000 and 2004 becomes a tipping point for me. So 2004, the exports business start. 2004 also is I was doing the market in Bangalore, and to do retailing, you have to do 40 shops. You have to walk the street and do it, and boss, it's not easy to do. 2 days in Bangalore doing that, I had got on a flight and had dozed off. I don't know when. And suddenly in the middle of the flight, I am woken up and said, "क्या कर रहा है? सोने की जगह है क्या?" And this was Kishore Biyani. And he said, "चल आगे आके बैठ मेरे साथ." Seat खाली थी. So sat there and he started talking to me about food and supermarket and stuff like that. I said, Kishore ji, and that time Kishore ji had already built Pantaloons department store.
And he knew you, मतलब कैसे?
Yeah, we knew each other from my advertising days. We knew each other from my advertising days. So I said, "Sir, but where are you talking about all these things? You are department stores." He said, "नहीं, idea है मेरे पास, supermarket खोलना है अभी." That was the beginning of Big Bazaar that was to happen.
2005, na?
2004 is when this happened. This is when this happened. And at 2005, we opened the first Big Bazaar. And so 2004, Capital Foods gets into exports. Money starts coming in. 2005, the first supermarket starts. The big supermarket. In a way, I call it Big Bazaar was a revolution to how the Indian housewife was to buy.
100%.
And we never looked back after that. So, 2005 was also, 2006 was an interesting one, which is how Kishore Biyani became an investor, really was. We were still, we were a 30 crore company actually. So, like I said, for us, it was, the housewife loves eating out Desi Chinese, but she doesn't know how she's going to cook it at home. I have ingredients, but there's a fear of, यार foreign food घर बनेगा नहीं बनेगा, which meant I had to go through the exercise of helping them discover how to cook it at home. There's no money to go mass advertising at this point. I had tied up with IHM Bombay, where we were sponsoring some awards and stuff, and they used to help us on recipes. So in one of those discussions with IHM, we said, I want to do one Chinese mela. Actually, so before Independence Day, we wanted to do a Chinese mela. So outside the Big Bazaar store in Phoenix, which is now Phoenix Mill, there was a huge ground. We set up 16 stalls. Third year students from IHM Bombay, they would cook. Each stall would cook and show housewife how to make Chinese. This was on a Saturday, Sunday.
आपके ingredients को लेके?
मेरे ingredients को लेके, CHING'S के ingredients को लेके, And on that Sunday, and that was like a super hit. In 2 days, we sold like 3 lakh rupees of products. Incidentally, Kishore ji was there with his family on a Sunday. And he says, क्या तमाशा हो रहा है? तू कर क्या रहा है? So he said, कुछ माल बिका क्या? I said, yeah, 3 lakh का माल बिक गया. So you're like shocked.
बट ये कॉन्सेप्ट तो वही हुआ ना जो आप पहले 96 से 2004 में जो छोटी शॉप्स में जाके लाइव डेमो कर रहे थे, ये बड़े परेड ग्राउंड में डेमो कर लिया बेसिकली.
अब number of people, the number of consumers grow, no? Because it's a supermarket, and also Big Bazaar, when it opened, it was like a phenomena where everybody went to. And then from there, life has been good. Supermarkets, And then again, the journey of distribution still remained. So,
but 2006, Kishore ji bought 40% stake?
Yeah, Kishore ji got 40%. Again, this is not, again I'm saying this is not an era of valuation and P funds and all that.
But आपको नहीं लगा यार इतना stake आप दे दोगे उस time पे? It was
भाई
like
वो सब ये जो आजकल आप लोग बात करते हो ना, वो सब नहीं होता था तभी यार. बैंक पैसे देता नहीं है. So while as much as many people have told me over the years, यार तूने सस्ते में कर दिया, was उस वक्त 13 करोड़ रुपया was 13 crores. Okay, so 30 crore turnover, 3 crores profit, but 13 crores was 13 crores.
तो 13 करोड़ रुपए उन्होंने दिए थे.
13 crore रुपए दिए थे
और 40%.
Yeah, you can. I can look back and say he took a risk of his 13 crores also. Yeah. Finally, this whole PE fund investment, all that didn't exist in India, boss. So he was an.
But why did you take that call? Because only Kishore Biani took the call, or you said that it is money that you also need, or
you needed the money. So, I had gone to him to ask him, boss, you become large, help me, tell me how to think, mentor me, kind of a thing. I walked into his cabin and said, तेरा turnover क्या है? So I said 30 crores. तो एक काम करते हैं ना, मैं 50% ले लेता हूँ. I said, sir, मैं बेचने आया नहीं, मैं तो कुछ नहीं सुनना नहीं है मेरे को कुछ भी. तो ऐसे नहीं, मेरे को नहीं बेचना है. So he picked up the phone, called his CFO and said, एक काम करो, ये 50 नहीं बेच रहा, इसको 13 करोड़ दे दो, 33% ले लो. And then 33 became 40, but अच्छा तू जा अभी यहाँ से, बाद में बात करेंगे. So ये deal हो गई.
That is how the deal happened?
That is exactly how.
This is legit, right?
This is exactly how the deal happened. Nothing. No paperwork, nothing. So I walked out. I called my dad and said, 13. Pause again. Understand, this is another world altogether. 13 crores somebody is given. It was a big thing, boss, that time. Your viewers will be shocked by this, but that was another era, boss. So,
no regrets?
Absolutely not, but absolutely no regrets. If in today's, when I see what's happening in the world today, in India today, if I had got a lot more money, I don't know if you had been successful. You worked with money, every penny mattered. Yeah. So 13 crores, we spent a large part of it buying machines and stuff like that, really. Yeah.
So फिर क्या change हुआ? So let's now 2006 से लेकर 2014 तक चलते हैं.
हाँ.
Because मुझे ऐसा लगता है सर 2014 से 2024 when the Tata deal happened, मुझे लगता है सर there is a big case studies that's going to happen now in the next 20-25 minutes. So take me through 2006. Kishore ji 40% stake, 13 करोड़ लगा दिया. CHING'S has 3 कोई 96 से 2006 तक आपने प्रोडक्ट तो वही रखे हैं.
प्रोडक्ट वही रखे.
वो अभी कोई इनोवेशन नहीं हुआ. एक्सपोर्ट पे चल रहा है, राइट? एंड वो चलता रहा कि वो बंद कर दिया था.
कौन सा? नहीं, एक्सपोर्ट तो अभी भी चल रहा है.
वो भी अभी चल रहा है.
एक्सपोर्ट
टेक मी थ्रू द जर्नी सर. फिर क्या चेंज हुआ?
So one, the export end, we started building. We built in a range. Like I said earlier, knowledge was something that I was seeking. Yeah, constantly as an organization, Capital Food was a knowledge-based company. Yeah, from a food safety perspective, the systems and processes on food safety that we had were unbeatable with most of the and better than a lot of companies. Most of the companies, in fact, and I'm not boasting, but most of the companies in India, food safety is under the skin of this company because you were exporting some of the biggest names in the world. Yeah, so that's something that happened across the country, across Capital Foods, and the other, like I said, was recipes. Yeah, so food mein na, technology is not just machines; it's about the recipes. It's about the science that works in it, and now that I had. Survival was over and you had money in the bank. More than the money, it was not large money, but more than that, you had a mentally confidence there's somebody backing you. Okay,
fair enough.
वो पैसा देंगे नहीं देंगे, होगा नहीं होगा, separate. But you know, this mental frame to an entrepreneur saying, hey, I'm right. Somebody believes in you, which is very, very important to give you that self-confidence. Yeah. So I said, now the next journey, India. So Desi Chinese, it's not Desi Chinese.
Abhi
The
Desi
Chinese
Chinese.
is also evolving in the country.
With authentic Chinese.
Correct. So evolving in the country, road pe more and more street food is becoming Chinese. So if you look at it like this, Bombay में वड़ा पाव पाव भाजी होती थी, अब आपको हक्का नूडल और फ्राइड राइस दिखने लग गए. दिल्ली में छोले भटूरे, आलू टिक्की, the word became chow mein there, and the chow mein started becoming large there, and slowly it was happening in many parts of the country, many cities of the country. This began to happen, which meant more and more popular, and from this came dishes also. पनीर चिली हो रहा है, फ्राइड राइस हो रहा है. पहले एक वर्ड था चाइनीज, अब फ्राइड राइस हो रहा है, पनीर चिली हो रहा है, मंचूरियन हो रहा है. So for us it was about saying, can we now expand the range to the changing consumer?
और ये कंज्यूमर इनसाइट्स कैसे ले रहे हो आप?
सर कॉन्स्टेंटली रोड पे पूरी टीम घूमती थी. फॉर अस इट वाज सो वन देयर इज अ साइंस ऑफ ethnic cuisines. That's something that the company has, which you have learned from the West. Indian food in the UK, Italian in the US, Chinese and Japanese in the West Coast of US. Also at that point, there was another interesting thing that was happening in the US. In the 80s, 90s, the Hispanic, the Mexicans started coming into the US as labor. And with them came their food. It started by Tex-Mex food and then now become Mexican food. You know, the second language the US talks is Spanish, because of the Mexicans. You had seen all these, how these cuisines were evolving. So this is something at the framework of Capital Foods, From the framework, and the framework said you have to learn what is happening in the restaurants, what's happening in the streets, to understand the consumer.
And आप भी थे ग्राउंड पे?
Sir, till 2023, 15 दिन रोड पे होते थे. और रोड के का मतलब 5-star होटल नहीं होता. रोड पे का मतलब होता 40 दुकानें करना. धूप है, बारिश है,
आप खुद कर रहे हो?
तू सुने नहीं गा, मरे बिना जन्नत नहीं मिलती, तो नहीं मिलती है जन्नत. That's how you learn. That's how the team learns, and that's how you learn. So a lot of ideas have come from the street, from the consumer directly. The consumer, you see what the consumer wants. Maybe the consumer doesn't see it, but you see it, you understand it, and then you say, hey, can I create a product that will fulfill that want of his? But then you have to be one-on-one with him or her. That's the only way it'll happen. You can't sit in your office and do innovation. Doesn't work, boss. And you can't, because you're a food culture country, you can't go to America and say, यार उधर वो बिक रहा है ना, मैं इंडिया में बेचूंगा. वो भी नहीं होता. If you look at my country's history, हमने दूसरों का खाना अपना बना लिया कुछ डाल वाल के, उसके बिना हम खाते नहीं हैं. ठीक है, तो फूड का ये चक्कर है. अनलाइक अदर थिंग, शैम्पू वहाँ बिकती है, बेच लो, पर फूड डजंट वर्क लाइक दिस. सो यू हैव टू एंश्योर दैट इट गेट्स इंडियनाइज्ड.
देसी तड़का इज इंपॉर्टेंट.
वेरी
कंज्यूमर इनसाइट्स हो रहा है 2006-7 में, इवॉल्व हो रहा है मार्केट लैंडस्केप. देन व्हाट हैपेंस सर?
So there is this technology thing that happens, which is one saying, I have money now. You earlier said Maggi noodle was there, but Maggi was not Chinese. So now this is a new India where Chinese is now on the streets. Chinese is a cuisine, not a snack called noodle. So for me, it was the next step is CHING'S needs to get into noodles. नूडल के लिए फैक्ट्री चाहिए होती है और मशीन चाहिए होती है. सो विच इज़ वेयर वी एंडेड अप, आउट ऑफ दैट मनी वी एंडेड अप सेटिंग अप अ फैक्ट्री. 2008 वी लॉन्च चिंग्स इंस्टेंट नूडल्स. This was the first time from 82 to now where we bought flavored Chinese noodles, which is very distinct from a Maggi masala noodle. We said we're not competing with them. We are creating a niche for ourselves. Modern trade, the word self-service to modern trade had happened. Supermarkets were there, independent supermarkets and large supermarkets like Big Bazaar had begun. So life was much easier to merchandise your products, help consumers now taste them in the stores. So all that was something that we were doing. We also at that point, I was on a trip to UK, again dealing with Tesco. I was on a Tesco trip to the UK, and say inspiration coming from. I saw a 99p pouch of I think it was called Saag Paneer Masala. Okay? They didn't call it masala, it was 99p Saag Paneer pouch. Yeah? Which means there are ingredients to make Saag Paneer in 99p. 99p is 10 rupees in the way I'm saying it. So I came back and I said, I sat with my team and I said, boss, अगर ये 99p में retail करता है वहाँ पे, तो why can't I make a product, why can't we make a fried rice, a Manchurian, a paneer chili in 10 rupees? Pouch में. Mindset very clear was, I am talking to the mass, yeah. और ये mass
2009 ना?
This is 2008-9, yeah. How do I sell to, if you know, so there is a consumer demand because my wife is eating it, my daughter is eating it, my mother is eating, they're all enjoying Chinese on the streets, and now it is no more Chinese. It's not, so you know, there is an evolvement that happens. This is not Chinese. अब ये dishes के नाम हो गए. So that's a movement that has happened here. Now, if I want them to cook at home, I can't do a 30 rupees, 50 rupee product. It has to be something that is affordable. Now comes the science and the knowledge part. How do you create these products? Our definition of masala that time was meat masala, chicken masala. That still exists. The pav bhaji masala. These were the new dishes that the consumer was enjoying in the restaurants and the street. Can I help them?
घर पे लेके
आने के लिए, but it has to be at a great price. So that took us the next 6 months to say, how do we deliver delight in a 10 rupee pouch with cross margin. Yeah. So that is the science and the knowledge. We became one of the few companies in the world, independent companies in the world, that had seasoning technology in-house. Yeah, and that's where these masalas came about.
ये 2010 में लॉन्च हो गया,
8-9 में लॉन्च हो गया. It took us 6-8 months.
शेजवान चटनी तो नहीं आई ना,
अभी आई नहीं है.
Game
No, this became a first big game changer because from soy sauce, chili sauce, this became a mass consumption product in a way. Yeah.
Correct. And but वो cross sell तो हो रहा होगा ना, जैसे soy sauce तो cross sell हो ही जाएगा.
Correct.
जब लेने जा रहा है मंचूरियन का पाउच, तो वो soy sauce तो ले ही रहा है ना.
Simar, we moved now to another level of saying, मैं अभी my housewife can make a full dish at home in a 10 rupee pouch. उसको ना soy sauce चाहिए, ना chili sauce चाहिए, कुछ नहीं चाहिए. Now this becomes a game changer. Okay. Take for example fried rice. Yeah. I believe fried rice masala in my lifetime is going to become a 5,000 crore business. Yeah. बचे हुए चावल को तड़का लगता है, सबके घर में लगता है. वो किसी लेवल पे भी हो उसके घर में तड़का लगता है. ये पुड़िया 10 रुपए की पुड़िया से वो बचे हुए चावल को तड़का लगाएगा, फ्राइड राइस बन जाएगा. ठीक है. सबसे सस्ता फ्राइड राइस सस्ते पे भी मिलेगा तो 30, 35, 40 रुपए का मिलेगा. ये तो 10 रुपए की पुड़िया है यार. वेजिटेबल हाउस जितना मन में है डाल ले. दैट बिकम्स अ गेम चेंजर टू अस. That becomes a game changer now. So from a very basic soy sauce, chili sauce, we evolved to more
main dishes.
Yeah, main dishes. Yeah. So that is something that happens. 2010, two things happened. 2010-11, two things happened. One is the launch of Schezwan Chutney, and the other was soups at 10 rupees. Yeah. So here's the story on this one. Yeah. On Schezwan Chutney. So
Schezwan Chutney word वैसे कितना opposite है. Like दोनों word जोड़ने.
मेरी जिंदगी में ना 2 बार ऐसी अगेन ये मतलब लोगों ने हंसे हैं मेरे पे, मेरी कंपनी वाले हंसे हैं इस पे. जब sorry, let me take a back story on this one. So I have a lot of stories. Yeah. India is not a ketchup eating country. If you see the story, the ketchup came into India in 60s. Yeah. It's still 1,000-1,500 crore market. India is a chutney eating country. My DNA हम चटोरे हैं बस. Okay, that's DNA. यार चटनी खाते हैं. शेजवान अगर चटनी बन जाएगी ना तो हम खाएंगे. शेजवान सॉस पता नहीं हम कितनी खाएंगे. So that chutney taking Schezwan and a chutney form, chatpata, and merging it together was the game changer to us.
Eureka moment, huh?
Eureka,
industry disrupt होगी, sir.
Simar, Eureka in post. Okay, at that point, when I said this, my office guys were like laughing their guts out. I remember going to retail stores and presenting to now modern trade happened, D-Mart had happened, Food Bazaar had happened, and said, I want to launch Schezwan and Chutney, and they all laughed and saying,
किशोर जी क्या कह रहे थे?
Kishore, actually, I didn't go to Kishore ji on this one, but the modern trade, the Food Bazaar team, but they all humored me. Yeah, when I gave them this whole spiel, they said, yes, go ahead and put it. We were always innovating. So they said, okay, put it on the shelf. Again, a lot of sampling. It took us 2.5 years, and suddenly it took off after that. And it's been a great success. I love it today when I'm traveling to any part of the world. If there are 500 Indian families somewhere, no, 500, 200 family भी होंगी ना, तो शेजवान चटनी की बोतल उधर
100% है.
And that
लोग दाल चावल के साथ खाने लग गए थे वो तो.
खा रहे हैं. There are times when I get stories sitting with people and the new generation, sitting with them, and suddenly I have to say who I was, who I am, and say, oh, Schezwan chutney. Remember, and they're talking to their wife and the girlfriend and saying, remember when we went there, we carried this. Remember, this was the savior for us. Those are the kind of stories you hear here, which is amazing for a product that is still not. Yeah. It's not 15 odd years more. Yeah. These kind of cult thing happen over decades. Yeah. Schezwan chutneys happened so amazingly, so quickly.
2010, so this is 10-11.
10-11, yes, 10-11. Okay. The numbers start happening post Ranveer Ching large, but you started seeing all this movement happening to our life. With this also distribution kept growing a little by little for us.
So 2014, tell me where we are. How many stores we are in? Kya top line hai from a 2.5 crore company in 2004 to where we are in 2014? How many products?
So by 2013, we are a turnover of 145 crores. 145 crores mein se 70 is exports. So it's 50-50 exports in India at this point.
And all these products are launched.
All these products are launched. I don't use the launch. डाल दिए थे. Launch के लिए पैसे चाहिए होते हैं and all that. But we were doing that hard work of sampling in stores and stuff like that.
How many stores by 2013?
We were predominantly modern. So we're not more than 25-30,000 stores at this point.
25. And these are all your CHING'S product and Smith &
CHING'S
Jones,
and
right?
Smith & Jones was only ginger garlic paste.
Ginger garlic paste. वो तो आज भी हमारे घर में भी वही यूज होता है.
Correct. तो उस वक्त ginger garlic paste में भी मेरे को बेवकूफ बोला था. Okay, 96 में से बॉस ये कौन खाएगा जिंजर गार्लिक पेस्ट बोतल में से. So it's a journey of 27 years where ginger garlic paste is a necessity. You can't cook Indian food without ginger garlic paste. Until you're a Jain. It's so necessary, and it is negative labor to the housewife. So we saw it in 95. We put it in 96. It's taken its own journey for it to.
2013. Ajay ji, we are at 145 crores, 50-50 split. Your Hakka Noodles are there. All your main recipe dishes, ये जो recipes है, Manchurian, chili paneer and all that, ये सारे CHING'S के आ चुके हैं.
Soup 2012 में, sorry, 2012 में ना soup launch किया हमने. Okay, the insight on soup was, I'm Chinese. अब देसी Chinese दिमाग में आना चालू हो गया because road पे बहुत popular हो गया. तो सूप का इंसेट हमारा क्या था was that we don't have a culture of drinking soup before our meals. So soup, the way it evolved was, in India was ठंड है तो सूप पिएंगे. 90% of so-called packaged food soup consumption happened in the north.
Correct.
Correct. Otherwise, what was
वो भी
soup?
ठंड में.
Only वो भी ठंड में. यहाँ क्या होता था, दादाजी के दांत नहीं है तो सूप पिला दो. हाँ, भैया को थोड़ी बुखार लगी है, बुखार है तो सूप पिला. That was it. But when you went to to eat Chinese,
तो hot and sour soup तो पहला order.
you ordered soup.
Veg
Correct. Manchow and the soup. So there was a probability of 75% that you ordered soup only when you went to eat
100%,
Chinese.
100%.
Yeah? So that was my insight. We had Maggie and Nor selling soups. They were selling soups. They were not selling Chinese soups. They were selling soups that were large packs meant for the richer community, richer Indians at a 30 rupee price point.
Tomato soup वगैरह थे ना?
थे 10-12 सूप से. So our insight was one, हम चाइनीज है, हम अलग कंज्यूमर से बात कर रहे हैं जो रोड पे जाके या ग्रेट सी रेस्टोरेंट में जाके देसी चाइनीज खाता है और सूप ऑर्डर करता है. तो अगेन ग्रेट प्राइस मैटर्ड टू अस. या सो आई सेड यार ये 30 रुपए में 4 पोर्शन देते हैं, मैं 10 रुपए में एक दूंगा ना. 10 रुपी में सूप का पाउच लॉन्च करना उस इंडिया के लिए ऑल्सो बहुत, यानी कौन पिएगा. एंड आवर इनसाइट वाज वेरी क्लियरली दिस 10 रुपी सूप पाउच विल बी अ डिलाइट टू दैट मिडिल क्लास कंज्यूमर हु सेज आज मैं सूप पी रहा हूं. एंड व्हाट डिड वी डू इन सूप? मंचाओ. So to us, these were the names.
नॉर नहीं कर रहा था मंचाओ?
बाद में आया था.
बाद में.
See this whole Chinese thing that we bought, yeah, they did all this later, yeah. So the manchao happened, hot and sour happened. And these were also soups that were hot, the way we ate.
Yeah.
Sweet corn. So sweet corn ka definition was not the way we had sweet corn. Yeah, sweet corn is a yellow corn that the Gora does. Yeah. We were talking about the white corn, which is how we had soup. So these are the soups that we launched at 10 rupees.
2012.
2012, 13. 12,
3 थे ना, hot and sour, manchao और
hot and sour, manchao, sweet corn ना था, एक टमेटो भी था उसके अंदर.
जो नॉर्मल चाइनीज रेस्टोरेंट में जब जाते हैं चिली पनीर ऑर्डर के पहले ये कर देते हैं हम लोग.
हाँ, टमेटो एक फ्रॉड था उसमें, बट टमेटो वाज नीडेड. सो उसके अंदर भी थोड़ा सा हमने अपना चाइनीज तड़का लगाया हुआ था. These were the 4 soups that we launched. What was happening? 2 things happened in 2013. We started doing extremely well in the markets we were. Again, our distribution was very controlled. We were more west based. So Maharashtra, Gujarat, Goa is where we were largely there in distribution.
कितने 5 स्टेट है? 5-6 स्टेट है ना. 2013 we are in 5-6 states.
3.5 states. Okay, really. When I say 3.5 was 3 states we were working, half was rest of the country. Okay, so 3.5 states. We started doing decent numbers for soup. Soup is a small category, but it took off for us. Yeah, we did a quick research to find out on the brand. We realized that public खा चिंग्स रही थी पर बोलती थी मैगी और नॉर. We were the back of the mind. We were not upfront.
Okay.
So when you go inside, you say open your cupboard, and they were enjoying Ching's soup. They were सोय सॉस चिली सॉस उनके कैबिनेट में था, किचन कैबिनेट में
बोल नहीं रहे थे,
पर ब्रांड नेम नहीं था उधर. सो दैट वाज अ चैलेंज दैट वी वर सीइंग.
सो वो भी एक एड ब्रांड गाय का ब्रांड नेम नहीं बोल रहे.
आदत प्रोडक्ट से बन गई. दीज वर हर वांट्स एंड दैट वर बीइंग फुलफिल्ड, बट द ब्रांड नेम वाज नॉट देयर. And when it came to soup, I said, now this is the first time there was a Maggi and a Knorr in front. Okay, Unilever and Nestle in front. Other products, they were not there. So I said, boss, I need to do something about this. This is 2013. 2013 also, Kishorji wanted to sell his stake. So that is when a new investor walks in. This is an investor called Invest, who's still part of Capital Foods. Very unique these investors are. This group is. They are a set of Invest, or they have another name called Artal. They are all BCG consultancy people who've gone into the investment mode. Yeah, they talk brand marketing, building businesses. They don't talk multiples. They don't talk all that. They want to build businesses with you from strength to strength with solid backbone. Yeah. Met them, it clicked because they were all marketing guys. Hey, makes sense. Yeah, Kishorji agreed to exit. They paid us a value, I think 450 crores at that time. Kishorji got his money. They put some money in the company. We didn't need money by now.
ये सिर्फ किशोर जी का 40% बाय किया.
किशोर जी का 40% buy किया, but they wanted 50. So hence they put some money in and we became 50-50.
You 50 and they 50.
They 50. And so this was the last when we had, with that money, that extra money that we got for the 10%, we cleared our debt. From then to now, we are a zero debt company and only cash in the banks. That was 2014. Now when this investor comes in,
They talk about brand.
and now you have some money in the bank. You have a lot of money in the bank. Again, more than the money was the confidence that I'm not calling him an investor, a partner who believed in brand building.
And आपको भी तो उनकी लैंग्वेज समझ आ रही है ना, because you also come through advertising,
Correct.
storytelling,
Yeah.
brand building, right? So that is also
So
there.
दोनों का एक मैच फिट हो गया, right?
And then
और उनके पास चेकबुक भी थी.
and then comes the viral campaign in 2014, है ना?
So
But एक second. So before Ranveer Ching happened, right? अब हम 2013 पे recap कर लेते हैं, right?
Correct.
We are at 140 odd crores, right? Profitable. New investor has come, 50%. They understand brand building, storytelling, and all these products are launched. Soup is there. आपके main dishes के ingredients are all set.
शेजवान चटनी है.
शेजवान
मतलब गेम
चटनी
प्लान रेडी हो गया. अभी कुछ करना है इसका.
हाँ, तो ये basically वो flywheel movement हो गया ना एक तरीके से ना?
Correct.
So now
अब
enters Ranveer Ching.
Little time, yeah. So now saying, यार पैसे हैं, अब ब्रांड बनाना है. दिस प्रॉब्लम ऑफ यार सूप मेरा पी रहे हैं, नाम किसी और का ले रहे हैं, वो भी हो रहा है. या ना मेरा अंदर का एडवर्टाइजिंग वाला जागा. आई सेड यार बॉस, इफ आई डू माई स्टैंडर्ड एडवर्टाइजिंग लाइक द अदर्स डू, यू नीड अ लॉट ऑफ मनी. आई नीड टू बी अ डिसरप्टर. The cuisine that I'm talking of is also a disruptor. The brand also is fun, in your face, quirky. इंडिया में ना 2 रिलीजन है, क्रिकेट और बॉलीवुड. ठीक है. क्रिकेट डज नॉट गो ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड. थिंग्स हैव चेंज. अमेरिका वगैरह में क्रिकेट नहीं होता, अभी जाना शुरू हो गया है. जो आई एम स्टिल टॉकिंग 2013-14. या ऑल्सो आई एम फूड. So women are as much in Bollywood than in cricket. So between the two, I choose Bollywood. Then comes, यार, am I going to do standard? एक एक्टर को, हीरोइन को ले लिया और बोले काले घने लंबे बाल, ले लो मेरा शैम्पू, ले लो मेरा फोन, या ले लो मेरी सॉस. So for us, it was that moment was saying we need to be different from our thought process. And hence, I need a brand ambassador, less but more a brand resonator, a person who amplifies all that the brand stands for. We zeroed down on Ranveer. He had done some, I don't remember brand. He did just one work at that time. I think it was a condo mat that he had done. It was a song that he had done. But he fitted the bill for everything. He was working with Yashraj down there. He was with Yashraj. We called. I remember this. We met at 11:30 in the night at Yashraj's office. So we met Ranveer at 11:30 in the night at Yashraj. We discussed the whole thing. That night he was flying out to shoot Dil Dhadakne Do in Turkey. Discuss everything. We discussing we have to do something different. But nothing was planned.
अच्छा, अभी कोई आइडिया नहीं बना कि रणवीर चिंग अभी आया नहीं?
नहीं, रणवीर चिंग अभी नहीं आया है. Over the next 1 month he's gone to shoot. In that we were discussing with the Yashraj team. So again, coming from advertising, I said I will not go to an ad agency. I want to take a leap. I will go to Bollywood to work with them on the creative aspect rather than an ad agency.
Wow.
Why? Because look at it like this. The Bollywood director has to deliver a 100 crore brand in 3 days. 4th day he's dead, right? What is the consumer connect he's going to have? Has to be amazing, no? 4th day is over, boss. So for Friday, Saturday, Sunday tak nahi chala, Monday is done, right? The kind of consumer connect. So I said, let me go to them on the creative leap. So we worked with the team, and this is where, and Ranveer was in touch with this whole thing, and that is where, so we said we'll do a song. Indian हर चीज में गाना गाते हैं. So we'll do a song, and it rhymes also. We'll do a song. In the song, there is a rap, and that rap was written and sung by Ranveer. Yeah. So Ranveer becomes Ranveer Ching. The song was written by Gulzar sir. I don't know when he does these things. Written by. Sometimes destiny plays its role. Written by him. Shankar Ehsan Loy do the music. There was I forget the choreographer was some big man, and this whole package becomes large. You had goosebumps when Ranveer was recording the rap in it. Schezwan muh mein pani. So it's like a game changer moment. The song, the day the song got launched, the song was launched on YRF Music YouTube channel. Please note, this is pre-Jio era. There is life before Jio and life after Jio. Okay, it's pre-Jio era. In the next 24 hours, everybody believed this was a song that came from a movie that is coming. In that entire song, the only place that the Ching logo came was on his arm. There was no product, nothing. It was talking about Ranveer Ching and his love for Desi Chinese and the products. Yeah. In the next 60 days, this song had been pirated. The word viral had still not come. Okay, this song got pirated by everybody across the world. Radio channels were playing it. That era had music, television pe music channels. They were playing the song free. Film ka song hai na? And that took the brand to the next level.
Next orbit.
Completely different orbit. Ranveer Ching became the iconic character. 10 years down the line, he's still iconic. He comes every 2 years and amazes the Indians all over the world with what he does on screen. By end of that year, we were in 85,000 stores.
25. So हम धंधे वाले
2014 end में we were in 85,000 stores. We were now
25,000 तो थे 2013 के.
13.
This campaign happened.
85 हो गए.
85,000.
85 हो गए. I remember once, there is कानपुर में मार्केट कर रहे थे, तो हमारे हाथ में ना रणवीर सिंह के पोस्टर्स थे. एंड रास्ते पे पता है रेकी लगा के बच्चे बैठते हैं करते हैं ना, कुछ बेच रहे होते हैं. एक लड़का खड़ा हुआ, उसने पोस्टर देखा, खड़ा हुआ और गाना और डांस किया पूरा उसने. माय नेम इज रणवीर सिंह. एंड दैट मिनट यू सेड यार हो गया काम, द ब्रांड बन गया है. या एंड देन द ब्रांड अब बनाया, अब जर्नी है उसकी. सो
20 साल लगे जर्नी. 96 से 2014 मूवमेंट आया.
सर 20 साल बहुत जल्दी हो गया सर. देयर आर वेरी फ्यू ब्रांड्स इन द वर्ल्ड जो 20 साल में बन जाते हैं. इफ यू सी दैट, एंड कंज्यूमर्स डोंट, एंड पीपल डोंट रियलाइज दिस. मोस्ट ऑफ द ब्रांड्स आर 50-60 years old, बॉस. तो while it took 20 years, I'm saying I'm blessed. 20 साल में बन गया ब्रांड. बहुत कम ब्रांड बनते हैं 20 साल.
तो उसको बिजनेस के टर्म्स में नंबर्स क्या बने सर? फिर 85,000 stores and then
so 85,000 stores. We are now at around 250-275 crores.
2014,
2015.
Yeah. 250 crore के आसपास होगा.
Correct.
And वैसे आज कितना है? Like if we say today, how many stores?
I wouldn't know. So like I wouldn't know the numbers.
2023.
2024, we were at around 3.5. Some of our products were at 5 lakh stores, but in a broad perspective, we were on 3.5 lakh stores. by
almost
two,
10x हो गया ना मतलब
almost
एक तरीके
10x
से before Tata
Yes.
January
Yes.
Tata
January
bought it in-
2024 I handed over the business to the Tatas.
अच्छा सर ये 10 साल में सो दैट्स वाई से कि 2014 से जनवरी 2024 भी एक जर्नी है राइट
Correct.
वुड यू से कि इन दिस डेकेड द ब्रांड वाज बिल्ट
So this is the last decade. The decade before that was building up of the products, understanding of the consumer, creating innovations and stuff like that. Post Ranveer Singh, things really build out as a brand then. And the numbers started stacking. Not only in India, Simar, the amazing part is in the world. You know, the delight of somebody sending you a picture of somebody was this girl who got a gift in San Francisco on her birthday. Her friends in her uni gave her a t-shirt with the Schezwan chutney bottle printed on, because this is how much she loved Schezwan chutney. These are Gora friends. And she sent us a picture of that. And these were the moments. I remember last year with a Tata team, we were doing the UK, London market. And they saw this CHING'S, the way it was displayed in 2-3 supermarkets. And they said, wow, what great work you all have done building the brand in the UK. And I said, no, we haven't done this. God and Ranveer Singh. So, I mean, to be fair, yeah, it was Desi Chinese and CHING'S becomes one. And this is the soul food of the Indians. So, you know, when you touch the consumer does things for you. Yeah. There is this, in marketing parlance, it is said, you position or not, environment and the consumer positions or depositions you.
100%.
The consumer positioned us, because so our insight is, I'm saying, we understood the wants of the consumer, we created stuff for them, the rest they did for us.
सर आपने ना I want to spend 5 minutes on this part. आपने God and Ranveer Singh बोला right, and clearly of course Ranveer Singh has played a very pivotal role. And you know, when we saw that ad, right, we are mid 20s, right? 20, I was 24 when I saw that ad. I was like, actually मेरे को भी लगा कि YRF की मूवी आ रही है, right? And of course we had tasted the food and all that. But मुझे सर रणवीर सिंह का प्रोसेस बताओ. He's also played, ऐसे लग रहा है he's involved in that ad. वो रणवीर सिंह लग रहा है. उसका प्रोसेस बताओ and like tell me about that, sir. So, I want to understand that.
So Simar, again, the insight is I was creating, we were, so not alone me, so we were creating products, yes, but more than the product, what is behind the product is what we were doing. So what is that we were doing? We said we are creating excitement on the dining table to the Indian housewife 3 times a day, 7 days, for 7 days a week for 365 days, creating excitement on the dining table. Excitement can come at an affordable price or at a great price. Yeah. So excitement on the dining table is what I'm doing. Now excitement and I'm delivering them pouches of masala and soup bottles and stuff like that. Yeah. To that excitement, I am creating excitement through what is called advertising, but I am saying I am creating excitement with the brand CHING'S, which is about delivering her what a film does, her or him what a film does, yeah, which is entertainment. So I am creating excitement on the dining table. I am creating exciting entertainment. So it's not advertising I am creating exciting entertainment. If I have to create exciting entertainment, the process in any film is the actors are as involved. Yeah, the director is involved, and it's a teamwork that creates the excitement. So the process that we took, what came from Bollywood, the process coming from Bollywood, the actor who's the main lead also plays his role as he does in any other film. So he played the same role for us at the back end as much as the front end. So he's always been integral to what we've done in terms of our entertainment quotient. For example, Ali Abbas Zafar did one, again an iconic film Ali Abbas did for us was Ye Rocket Hai Rocket. This one just took off madness. This was the first Schezwan Chutney film. The fire coming from Ranveer's bum was his idea. Okay. But for us to okay it as a brand
requires guts, courage,
big guts, man.
Yeah.
To for on a launch press conference, Ranveer says, हमारी चटनी खाई है. He's telling the press, हमारी चटनी खाई है कभी? जब खाओगे तो मजा आएगा. अगले दिन और मजा आएगा. You're making fun of your brand in a way, We love that. We took that cut and we put it in all social medias. Now these are things that this is entertainment that we were talking of. We are touching the heart of the consumer, the soul of the consumer. Yes, we are delivering some products. So that's been a key to what we've done. And Ranveer, and now hence Ranveer becomes integral to it. And Ranveer appreciates that part and adds value to it.
मतलब मेरे मन में ना सर दो वेन डायग्राम्स आ रहे हैं. वन इज बॉलीवुड, वन इज फूड. दोनों इंडियंस को बहुत पसंद है. उसके इंटरसेक्शन पे चिंग सीक्रेट लिखा हुआ है.
So मैंने स्टार्टिंग में आपको बीच में आपको बोला there are two religions in this country. Bollywood or cricket. अब तीसरा आ गया देसी चाइनीज. देसी चाइनीज. And you know, sorry, just to continue, Simar is, you know, you'll say, why doesn't it happen anywhere else? Okay, this you asked me earlier before we started the interview. The mindset is of the marketeers. If he is saying, I want to make an ad, then he'll make an ad. The star will also stand there and say, मैं शाहरुख खान, खरीद लो. But if you're taking the same actor and you're saying we're creating entertainment and through it sending a communication, then the actor will behave differently, will add value. So that's really the difference that comes in.
So 2024, January, we are at what, 900 crores revenue?
Yes.
Almost 3-4 lakh stores. Already CHING'S is a already household name, thus Smith & Jones, Sara. And sir, you decide to sell this off? TATA Consumers? Kyun, sir?
So two, three things there. One, the most important one, Simar, to me was, I believed I was not doing justice to the brand. When I say I'm not doing justice to the brand, meant was that the brand had become larger than the company. We were now, in terms of distribution, we were really speaking, we were in 6.5 states. When I say 6 states, we were doing hardcore ground distribution. Half for the rest of the country, we were there, not there. Modern trade, we were there. Parts of the world, this brand was doing extremely well with the diaspora. When I say diaspora, it's Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, because then the pan-Asian happens there. The brand could have grown much larger than what we were doing. So this is one. To me, it was, the brand has become a life of its own. It's a human being. उसकी आकांक्षाएं मेरे से बड़ी हैं. उसकी reach मेरे से बड़ी है. He's become so large. Am I trying to curtail him now? So that was something that was in the back of my mind. I'm getting at 58 now. My daughters are not coming into this business. My investors, one is 10, the other is 5. The investors have 5 to 7 years lead. They need exits. All this put together, and most importantly saying, this brand needs to be unleashed and not remain in this little control of mine. It can become much, much larger. So those were the key elements for us to sit and say, maybe the brand needs to find a bigger, better home. To me, money was not the criteria. When I started life, did I know what was going to happen? It is a journey. I have been saying life is about journeys, boss. It's not about, if it's a great journey, you'll make money. If it's not a great journey, everything is wrong. If it's a great journey, even if you make less money, it doesn't matter because you're enjoying the journey. लेके तो कुछ नहीं जाना ना, ठीक है. तो the journey was, and the journey was fabulous. Now do I curtail the brand was a big question that was.
We were जब research कर रहे थे तो lot of companies were after this, like Tata Consumers, Nestle and other companies were also after. Was it a conscious call कि टाटा को बेचनी है कि deal better थी उनकी, क्या कारण था उनका?
So why most of the brands, most of the larger companies in not only in India and the world who wanted to enter India or are in India but not done a lot in the country. So we're a unique company where we started from a niche which had already got scale and could scale from here many fold. Yeah. Not only in India but the rest of the world also. And a company with a 50-55% gross margin. This fit of a mass business that has such large gross margin is unheard of in the food business.
Yeah.
And hence, most of the companies in the world wanted to buy us. And we spoke to all of them. Yeah. My investors wanted the best deal. Yeah. At some point in my own thing was I want to leave this brand. It's an Indian brand. Leave it with an Indian company, and then walks in Tata's. Okay, now Simar as an Indian, I'm sure you grown up also saying, "Yaar, Tata is Tata, no? Okay, there's no money. Okay, Tata is Tata." I remember this, and this really came up to me. You know, it was like 8-9 years back. This was. When you get down in London Heathrow, you take the Heathrow Express to go into town, into central London. And you know, when the Heathrow Express came into the station at Heathrow, it was Tata's. The train was painted Tata's. You know what happens to you? You get goosebumps, man. Meri country ka brand is there. So that's Tata, man. And here he says, I want to buy a brand. What will you do? Say yes. It's an emotional thing more than anything else. You left it to the Tata. You left it to an Indian company. That's simple as that. And would others have given us a little more money? Maybe yes.
अच्छा.
Maybe no. I don't know. But
आप इमोशनल हो गए ना?
हाँ, मतलब है ना, Tata is Tata. So because you know when you start from where you start, and you now partnering with the largest conglomerate, you've grown up with that. That's where it is.
But इतने पैसे का क्या करोगे सर? मतलब 50% आपके पास था तो क्या 2-3 हज़ार?
Yeah, Simar, you don't count money. It's a wire media यार. क्या करेंगे? अभी तो लाइफ बाकी है ना.
Sir, fun. You know, one of the things that we were talking before we started this podcast, मुझे ना सर ऐसी stories लेके आनी है through my podcast, right? I feel that India is built by people like you, like many others, right? जो हमारे we've hosted in this podcast. As I told you, sir, बहुत से जो अब last 5-6 साल में you see lot of founders getting into food business, है ना, brands बना रहे हैं. आप पहले तो डिपार्टमेंटल स्टोर, मॉडर्न ट्रेड, ई कॉमर्स आया, फिर क्विक कॉमर्स आ गया, राइट? सो दैट हैज बीन द एवोल्यूशन. स्पेंड 5-10 minutes talking to young founders who have the infrastructure now in the country. 96 it was not there. Correct. 2025 it's quick. 10 minute में चीज़ आ रही है.
Correct.
Spend 5-6 minutes, talk to those founders, sir, who are building a consumer D2C वर्ड भी ये 4-5 साल में आया है ना.
Yes.
D2C कंपनीज बना रहे हैं, फूड में आ रहे हैं, बिकॉज पीपल आर पैशनेट अबाउट फूड, राइट? टॉक टू देम, सर. टॉक टू देम फॉर 5-6 minutes, sir.
Simar, and talking to all of them through this podcast, first find your passion. Find your passion, and the passion is the journey of what you want to do. And this passion has to come from the want that you see the consumer has that is unfulfilled. Not उधर होता है तो मैं इधर करूँगा. Lot of companies I see who look at the West and say I want to do it here. I'll give you an example. You'll see a lot of these D2C companies doing breakfast cereals, muesli and bars and stuff. ये मेरा खाना नहीं है यार.
नहीं चलेगा.
बस केलॉग्स ने अपनी कंपनी बेच दी तो हम कैसे खाएंगे यार? वो क्या होने वाला है सबका? find the real want of the consumer that you can feel. There is huge aspiration in the Indian consumer. He has money now. Luckily for you as an entrepreneur or an investor, entrepreneur now, you have access to money, which I didn't have when I was beginning. Get the fit right. Get the fit right, think original, put your passion behind it and go on a journey. Go on a journey. Don't sit and start saying valuation now. And I find sometimes I meet a lot of very enthusiastic kids. I meet some of them are most of them are brilliant, but a lot of them are wavered in a point of saying valuation. Was journey shuru nahi ki thi, and you're now talking of the end also. How is that possible?
Do you think it's a common trend among founders?
Not common, but it's uncommon to find founders who are ready to go on a journey.
जो अपना 40% भेजेंगे 13 करोड़ पे.
नहीं वो सर अगेन बेचोगे नहीं बेचोगे, पर पहले आप वो वैल्यूएशन क्या मैं बेचूंगा 40 करोड़ पे वो आज डिसाइड करके मैं काम करूंगा, वो नहीं होता ना सर. अब वो जर्नी में जा रहे हो आप, तो आप वैल्यूएशन पहले थोड़ी सर मेरे को तो वैल्यूएशन ना मैंने मांगी ना मिली.
बट आपको सर एक और भी चीज़ लगती है कि बिकॉज इट्स अ सेक्सी बिजनेस, राइट? फूड इज़ अ वेरी सेक्सी बिजनेस, इट्स वेरी अपीलिंग टू कंज्यूमर्स. तो आपको लग रहा है कि लॉट ऑफ फाउंडर्स आर ऑल्सो गेटिंग इनटू, उसके कारण भी आ रहे हैं?
फूड इज द टफेस्ट बिजनेस, इज द टफेस्ट बिजनेस. व्हाई? Food again in India, and again I'm coming back to India. So there are countries where food cultures are strong. India, Oriental coming from Chinese, Mediterranean, the whole region, French, Mexican again. And if you see, these are 5 old cultures of the world. Yeah, most of the foods are a subset of this. It is a strong food culture country. हम कुछ भी नहीं खाते पहले. So Schezwan chutney, a lot of people think ये 2 साल में बन गया है. अरे उसको भी 12-13 साल लगेगा. Food is a habit change, and habits don't change overnight. So food is a tough business to enter. It's a tough business to build. The good part of it is एक बार habit बन जाता है ना, कुछ नहीं भी करोगे ना वो गिरता भी नहीं है. वो सस्टेन भी बड़ा लंबा करता है, बिकॉज आदत पड़ गई ना खाने की है ना. गुलाटी का बटर चिकन खाना है तो अभी अच्छा है बुरा तो रोज पहुंच ही जाते हैं ना वहाँ पे. ठीक है. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो, बट गुलाटी took how much years to get there. Yeah. So that is something that, so food is not a quick fix business. It is going to take you anywhere between 10 to 15 years to, if you want to build a brand. If you think it's going to happen overnight, it's not going to.
And you said that आपने 15 दिन ग्राउंड लेवल पे जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स और डीलर्स के साथ लगाए. Do you also recommend the same to all these young founders starting in the food business?
There is no other way but to go on the ground and, okay, so I recommend this to a lot of kids who come to me, especially family kids and friends kids who come and say, I want to start. So I would say, boss, 3 महीने रोड पे जा. वो जो किराने वाला है ना, तो कोई भी हो, वो जब वो उतारता है ना तेरी, तो वो पूरी इज्जत उतारता है. ठीक है. He actually, I believe he cracked my ego, and then I had to rebuild it to be humble, listen. If you are not able to sell to him, how do you reach the consumer? Yes, today you are in better times. You have e-com and stuff like that. But India, the way India is, if you're not on the ground, you're not on the ground, boss.
If Ajay Gupta is 25 now, आज 2025 में आप 25 साल के हो, क्या करोगे?
मैं 2-3 नए बिजनेस शुरू करूँगा.
फूड बिजनेस में?
Yes.
कौन सा
I believe. So there is a canvas right now. So Simar, in 95, I saw, this is still in my head, yeah. 95, I had put pictures of supermarkets, shelves of food. And said, यार मेरी country में कब हुआ ये? In the next 25 years, I've done one small part of one of the shelves. There's so much. And from 95 to now, when I started, the per capita was 1,200, 1,300. Yeah. We are now at 2,800. Some parts of my country are at 3,500. Yeah, there is so much that I can pick from there and flip it into India. Again, when I say flip it into India, not take it and bring it here, add value to it from a Indian, to put a fit between the consumer want and what can come from there, twisted to fulfill that consumer's thing. And there is a huge opportunity sitting there. Cannot be done blindly, but there is a huge opportunity sitting there. 2020 was a game changer to the Indian consumer. COVID, we were sitting at home, everybody cooked. Men cooked. Yeah. And they didn't cook what they were eating every day. They cooked all kinds of things. Our minds opened up. Forget going international, boss. So this country is so unique. Yeah,
28 countries हैं इसमें.
Exactly. हमारा जोक होता है ना, चाइना is the 30th state of this country. उसका खाना पॉपुलर हो गया इंडिया में. तो 29 स्टेट्स का खाना अभी भी बाकी है. ये शायद ये 20-25 साल पहले पॉसिबल नहीं था. वी वर नॉट इंटीग्रेटेड फ्रॉम अ फूड, from travel and stuff, we were not integrated. Yeah, I remember when I was growing up, if somebody said you are transferred to Tamil Nadu, बोले नौकरी ले ले भाई, मैं नहीं जाता, वो खाना क्या मिलेगा? But that's over now. Yeah, we are. What is the opportunity of building cuisines of this country across? Huge opportunity. Yeah. Look at definition of Indian food is tandoori roti, paneer tikka masala, paneer butter masala, chicken. Yeah. That's not Indian food, no? Yeah, one part of
North Indian food.
Not even North, yeah. North is also too complicated. There's so much there. Yeah. There's so much to be done. So to me, yes, food. Yeah. And what the Indian consumer with $4,000 per capita, what all else will he consume? So I will look at other areas also.
So I want to finish the podcast with some kind of debate and controversy on health and nutrition. When you were building this, sir, healthy तो नहीं है, मतलब it is like
unhealthy नहीं है कुछ भी इसमें.
नहीं, but healthy भी तो नहीं है ना सर, मतलब अगर आप
so मैं तो पहले सिमन मैं ingredient बना रहा था, ठीक है, मैं तो healthy की तरफ था. Okay, I had a law. My noodle brand was never advertised on kids channels because I said that's unhealthy for kids. My noodle ads didn't show kids, they showed grown-ups. So I was conscious of that fact, yeah.
Like जो बाकी तो कर ही रहे थे ना kids.
पता नहीं उनकी बारे में, मैं अपनी बात कर रहा हूँ. So I'm very conscious. So you look at it like this. I make a 5 rupee pasta masala. Yeah. पहले तो उसके अंदर unhealthy कुछ नहीं है, पुड़िया है मसाले की, right? But what does it help the housewife do? And these are insights that have worked for us. She takes macaroni. She uses this excuse to feed a lots of vegetables to a kid. उसके अंदर बहुत सारी भाजी डालती है. तो मेरा तो मसाला इतना है. What is in a 250 gram dish? My masala is 5 grams. Yeah. What does it? Where is unhealthiness in any of this? I have a fried rice. Again, a 250 gram dish. She's put 100 grams of vegetables in it. पाउच में तो 10 ग्राम का मसाला है खाली ना. Schezwan chutney. Okay. What is Schezwan chutney? इंडिया का हर कोने में गार्लिक और मिर्ची की चटनी मिलती है. पंजाब में भी है, गुजरात में भी है, बम्बई में भी है, पूरे महाराष्ट्र में तो है. ठेचा इज सेम. साउथ में भी है. आंध्रा वाले शेजवान चटनी को वो चावल में मिला के घी डाल के खाते हैं. Because what is it? It's a chili garlic chutney. The twist is what in it? I have some Chinese ingredients in it and that's it. The Chinese ingredient मतलब क्या है? Schezwan pepper. Schezwan pepper मेरी किराने की दुकान में मिलता है, त्रिफला. So unhealthy तो कुछ बनाया ही नहीं मैंने.
Do you have aspirations sir? अभी एंड में जैसे टाटा ने अब ले लिया जनवरी 2024 में, So अभी क्या relationship है आपका सर टाटा के साथ, like till how much time you're there, because they bought completely 100% ना?
No, they don't. They haven't. So 25% is between me and my investor. With my one investor. Yeah, we own 25% of the business.
But majority उनके पास है.
Majority उनके पास है. I work closely with them in terms of helping them on certain innovations, some products and stuff like that. Not much.
कब तक है सर? Relationship.
I have another 3 years. I'm never going to get into another food FMCG business.
But are you going to like invest? Like a lot of young people are watching. तो क्या अगर if they have to reach to you?
Oh, absolutely. I'll love.
कैसे reach out करें आपको?
Smart kids will be able to find my mobile number and call me. Happy to look at it, provided. Saying state in, provided. I want to see passion. I want to see want. I want to idea. Kishore Miani invested in my idea. I will invest in yours. But I am not investing to get one quick fix valuation. I'm saying, what is the journey? Can I help you in that journey? I am happy to invest.
Awesome. Sir, I think you're the OG. And हमारा भी यही मिशन है सर, ये through this podcast to bring the actual nation builders, to bring the actual OG of the category होती है ना, SKUs वगैरह बोलते हैं, आप उस SKU के OG हो सर. And I think lot of young people will get inspired, and I think they're very smart enough. They'll get in touch.
Love it. Thank
Awesome.
you so much.
Let's
Simar.
wrap this up.
Thank
Sir.
you. Thanks, Simar. Thank
Bye,
you so
sir.
much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.